again, you guys were doing this just simply so that that can be repeated, but what we're gonna be working on in the next few weeks here, okay, this takes us very close to the break, is fictional narrative, okay? We have, in the past, we have worked on the elements of plot throughout the entire quarter one thus far, right? And we started with the exposition. What's in the exposition? Setting and characters. And then we worked on the conflict, which is the rising action. And you had the internal conflict. You had the external conflict. Man versus self being the internal and all the others for external. Then we worked on the climax, okay? Then the falling action. And finally the resolution. And we looked at particular short stories and particular pieces and looked at each of those elements. Other things that we worked on irony, those three types of irony, dramatic, situational, and verbal. We worked on point of view. There are 4 types of point of view, 2 of them being, there are 5 types of point of view, 2 of them being first person, and then 3 of them being third person, okay? Now what our job is, and then we took that into Ethan Frome, and so we saw it into a bigger novel, a bigger piece, okay, where all of those elements of plot were put into a novel. Now it's your turn. Now you do it, okay? And that's what this fictional narrative is all about. You're going to write down, create your own story. So when you look at today's assignment, okay, and it says fictional narrative, here. The first thing that we see, okay, all right, are the requirements. If you click on the requirements, it should be very clear as to what I'm asking you to do. Each day, you have a 200-word minimum section. Each day, which is not bad at all. It really isn't, okay? The first section will be the exposition. It should include your first type of setting. Remember, there are 2 types of setting. The first one is time and place, the actual time and place. We call that local color. And then the second setting, which is the atmosphere, okay? You'll need a minimum of 1 dynamic character, dynamic round being a major character, one that has many traits, one that changes throughout the story. And you'll need 1 static character or flat character, 1 insignificant character or a minor character, not necessarily insignificant, but minor. Okay? Everybody with me so far? Are we hanging in there? Get it? So that would cover the exposition. Okay? Oops. Where'd she go? The second part, after including all of these things in your exposition, the second part you'll need to do is create a rising action or a conflict. Is it going to be internal? Is it going to be external? If it's external, what kind? Is this man versus man? Is this man versus nature? Is this man versus society? Some sort of conflict that comes out, which is here. You again create the problem and what is the main character's major conflict in the story. Okay. You'll need to create. You'll need to have a climax in there. Okay. At some point, all of this is going to come to a head. As we're reading Ethan Frome and or other novels like Anthem. In Ethan Frome, if we go to that, have we experienced the climax yet? Are we there yet? Maybe so, maybe not. We haven't finished. We read tomorrow and finish, so maybe there's a climax there. If you say yes, what might the climax be? Yeah.
Maddie leaving.
Maddie leaving? Yeah. Has she left yet?
No.
So we don't know if that's going to work. Kayla, did you have a guess?
Zena saying that she's going with Maddie leaving.
Maybe that was certainly part of the conflict, and we're headed into the climax. So we'll see tomorrow if it's there. Okay. So we'll need some sort of climax in your story. Okay. This is the turning point. This is where this is the story, the story's highest point. Okay. And then, of course, you need a falling action. What are the immediate consequences of the climax? What happens immediately? Hey, get going. Okay, shoot. There we go. And then, of course, after your falling action, we have the resolution. Now, the resolution, as you've learned, this is the result. It's the create a final conclusion for the character, and what the characters have learned. What have they learned in this whole thing? You all with me? It has to have some finality to it, where the characters, there's a bigger picture here. The characters have learned something, and now that comes to like theme, the idea of what the theme was, why the author chose to write about that particular piece. And that's you. You're the author. You're creating the story. So it has to have an underlying value and importance that is resolved at the end. Okay? Don't forget to choose your point of view. Are you going to do this as an I? Is the main character going to be an I? Or is it going to be a he, she? Is it going to be through the eyes of many characters, omniscient? Is it going to be through the eyes of one character, like Ethan Frome? Okay? Or, bigger idea, is this going to just be objective, where we just have all the characters but no internal feelings? You're the artist here. You're the author. So you create that. You create the point of view. Okay? Everybody understand? Do you see where we're headed with this? And that's the fictional narrative. Okay.